Several systems approaching the northeast as we go throughout the week ahead, and keeping a very close eye on Friday in particular. We're going to see a system winding up near the Cape and the Islands near Boston. So it's going to be a very close call as the week goes on for that chance of either significant snow or nothing at all. It's going to be one of those fine line things. But either way, multiple shots of snow at times, multiple shots of rain. Then as we get deeper into the week, that's when we'll be watching the potential of a nor'easter. I'm not really seeing that fully coming together yet, but the potential is there. But either way, what we're watching is this area right here. This would be by Friday morning. So Thursday night into Friday morning, right in through here, watching the Boston area, the Cape and the Islands. It really depends not only on the track of this area, but how quickly it kind of winds up and develops to see how much snow could get thrown in on the back side of this. And again, any shift closer to the coast could mean a really significant snow for parts of the I-95 corridor. That's what we'll be watching. As it stands now, most of the energy would be just offshore. The track is what we need to watch as we go throughout the week. We'll put out additional updates as you're subscribed. You'll get those notifications first. And Matt and I will let you know again what we're seeing with this 7-day snow totals. And you can see as it stands now with several systems rolling back through the Great Lakes, back through parts of New York, northern New England, through the Atlantic region of Canada. That's where some of the heaviest weather will be. But everything kind of hinges on what develops near the Cape and the Islands as the week goes on to see how much additional snow will be a potential. Let's compare some models now. This here is a look at the European model. I'll show you, or excuse me, the American model. I'll show you the European in just a second. Now, this is midweek. What happens midweek is we get the first kind of pulse of energy moving in, right? So this would be by later on Wednesday. Scattered areas of rain and snow, Albany back towards Scranton, Pittsburgh, Altoona, Johnstown. We'd have some of that snow kind of on the back side of this. Even as we get into Thursday morning, watching over towards Scranton, Albany for that chance of snow. We swing back toward Hartford and Boston, not a whole lot. Then we swing forward into Thursday. This is Thursday. And what's going to happen here is we're going to see a piece of energy try to develop off of the coast. Still some of that snow, parts of Syracuse, monitoring that. But this is what we're watching carefully throughout the week. This is by Friday morning, some sort of system kind of developing or trying to develop into a bit of a nor'easter. Maybe kind of too late to do that, but we'll see how much snow may wrap around. Very fine line between Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, the Cape, Boston. And then you get over toward Worcester, could be nothing at all. So again, this may stay all off the coast, but you could see that wraparound snow. Any shift closer to the coast would bring in some significant snow. As of now, it looks like it would just be kind of that wraparound stuff by the time we get into Friday. But any shift would bring more of a significant snow. That was the American model. Let me show you the European model, what we're seeing as we work forward. So this is Wednesday, and I mentioned that first kind of sloppy mix. So I was mentioning Albany, Scranton, for example, seeing some rain, snow here, some of the snow back through the Great Lakes. So this is Wednesday. We've got one little area that's going to be moving in. And then as we work our way into Thursday, you see, as this first piece of energy kind of lifts up through northern New England, we'll watch out for some snow back toward Maine as we work our way into Thursday. Rain, southern sections. There's some of the snow as we swing back toward the Great Lakes, parts of New York, parts of Pennsylvania. Again, this here is on Thursday, but then we're going to see more moisture feeding in from the south. So as we work our way into Friday, this is the spot we're watching. The European and the American model both kind of see this on Friday. Most keep the energy sitting offshore. With that said, you can see some of the snow and some of the blues that could wrap around, and this is what we'll kind of be seeing how this area develops as the week goes on. Looking even longer term, there may be even a better shot of snow by Sunday night. This is another system, just kind of looking longer term here to give you a heads up. Rain and snow at the least sweeping by New England as we work our way into Sunday night into early Monday. Kind of putting that one on the back burner, but we'll be watching that as we go forward. Here's the broader look, including the Atlantic region of Canada, just to give you that bigger feel. This is that first area, that sloppy mess as we work our way into Wednesday. See some of the rain anywhere, scattered areas of rain, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland, New Brunswick. Then by Thursday, there's some of the snow watching, as I mentioned, northern New England, and then swinging back toward New York, looking at some heavier rain possible. Nova Scotia, by the time we get into Thursday morning, deeper into Thursday, you see this energy moving off. Could see a little bit of snow on the backside, scattered rain here. Then our attention is going to be paid to what is trying to develop along the coast. You see it here. This is the area we'll be watching, and you can see how we may see nothing in New England, but any shift of the center of this closer to land That could bring in a significant snow, but it does look like as we work our way late week into the weekend, we could see a significant snow in some spots, especially late week, I should say, as we work our way into the Atlantic region of Canada. So we'll be tracking that together going forward. Now, looking at the 3-day snow totals, so this is just over the next 3 days. You see the I-95 corridor back through D.C., Baltimore, Philly, not seeing any snow, right? Just monitoring that system as we get into late in this week, but watching that lake effect snow and these systems diving down the Great Lakes, so Buffalo, Syracuse, and then lifting up northern sections of New York, watching out for some additional snow, watching that. We could see a little bit of a spillover, Albany, Binghamton, every now and then with some of the rain that passes by after it passes by the backside. Could be some of those snow showers, but not looking at any significant accumulations. But northern New York, watching Ottawa back toward swinging all the way back through Ontario, Quebec, some additional snow. Again, 3-day totals taking us through Wednesday. Northern sections of Maine, watching out for some of that, and then swinging back toward the Atlantic region of Canada. Again, generally away from the coast. I mentioned Nova Scotia, mainly rain if we get any moisture over the next few days, but to the north, that's where we could have some of those totals, 18 to about 25 plus centimeters of some snow, again, away from the coast for the most part, just kind of northern sections watching that. So multiple systems moving through as the week goes on. That Atlantic moisture continues to feed in that wraparound snow. So watching that carefully as the week goes on. We need to really watch that system on Friday just to see if it tries to develop a little bit sooner and tries to develop closer to the coast. If it does, that could bring additional snow to Boston, but fine line between nothing and a significant snow. So watching Boston and the Cape, New England, back through the Atlantic region of Canada very closely. Matt and I will be putting out those additional updates throughout the week. Thank you for being subscribed to this channel and have a good start to your week.